One of the questions today is Dr. Fauci's job potentially in jeopardy? New information shows that he was concerned about the lab and the U.S. grants that flowed to it, but downplayed it when he spoke in public. Let's bring in Republican Congresswoman Nancy Mace of South Carolina and Republican House Minority Whip Steve Scalise of Louisiana. Great to have both of you with us. I want to try to get through three quick topics with you guys. We're really glad to have you with us. This is Scott Gottlieb, the former FDA commissioner, on the Sunday shows yesterday, talking about what Dr. Fauci knew and when. Watch this.
I was told at that time, back in the spring, that Dr. Fauci had gone over to a meeting of world health leaders in Europe around the World Health Assembly and actually briefed them on the information that they were looking at, that this could have been a potential lab leak, that this strain looked unusual.
Representative Scalise, what goes through your mind when you hear that? That he was acknowledging that that the strain looked unusual.
Yeah, Martha, it's good to be with you. And what goes through my mind, I think, like a lot of other people, is why didn't all of us know this a year ago? We were suggesting well over a year ago that this could have started in a lab because we were hearing reports. You heard stories about a few of the people that worked in the Wuhan lab getting sick, just so happened to be right around the corner from the wet market. And yet all of us who were saying we should have an investigation into the origin were called conspiracy theorists and other things. And then in the meantime, while there was silence from the medical community, we find out that Dr. Fauci and others were emailing each other about the very possibility that it did start in that Wuhan lab, yet they surely didn't share it with us. And I've heard people in the White House saying that that wasn't shared with President Trump's team that was designed to look into the Wuhan virus and deal with it.
Congresswoman Mace, Dr. Fauci called it far-fetched. Instead of just, being a scientist and sort of laying it out there and letting everybody else work on the political narratives, it appears that he was part of the political narrative.
An activist scientist, an arm of the China's propaganda machine. Dr. Fauci lied about masks. He lied about the origins of COVID-19. He lied about his knowledge of funding at the Wuhan lab for gain-of-function research. And now we find out he's lied about the amount of money NIH paid to the Wuhan lab. I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, how many more times does this guy need to lie before he's ousted, before the American people fire him? And then when you read his emails, 900 emails last week. One of them in particular was on reporting done by Fox News about the lab leak theory, and his responses are redacted. So it seems like he said one thing publicly and then communicated another privately with other stakeholders. And we should have answers. We need answers. The American people are demanding them.
Yeah. One of the other quick topics I want to get to with you is the question of the infrastructure bill. And I want you to listen to Secretary Buttigieg on what he said about the GOP's counteroffer. Watch this.
So on Friday, there was another counteroffer from the Republicans, represented, I think, about $50 billion in movement, but really did not meet the president's objectives in terms of what we need to do for a generational investment. This is about making sure that America wins the future at a time when our competitors, like China and our allies, are investing much more, frankly, in infrastructure than we are. Representative
Scalise, your thoughts?
Where does Mayor Pete think this money comes from, Martha? Maybe when he was mayor of South Bend, $100 million might have seemed like a lot of money. Now they talk about trillions of dollars as if it's just paper that falls from the sky. One of the reasons we're seeing inflation right now and a slowdown in different parts of our economy, huge price increases for food, for gasoline, for lumber, is because they're printing money like it's going out of style. And when he balks at hundreds of billions of dollars in agreed upon paid for money, because he wants to spend trillions in borrowed money from our kids and our grandkids, it tells you just how out of touch he is with mainstream America. And President Biden needs to work with Republicans if he's going to get something that actually works. And Joe Manchin, by the way, laid that marker down in a very big way with the op-ed that he wrote yesterday.
He absolutely did. We'll see where it goes. Great to have you both here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Great being with you.